Anfernee, obviously it's a role you've had earlier in your career, but how was it coming off the bench tonight?
I thought at first I was kind of overthinking it, but once I got out there, I felt a little, more comfortable. Obviously when you've been starting for, I don't know how many years now, you feel like, changing the kind of routine that you built, over the past couple of years. But I think those early years coming on the bench really helped me in trying to understand, coming off the bench and the rhythm and just the preparation that had to come off the bench. But it was good.
And obviously there's been a lot of talk about you on the defensive end this season. Do you feel like this team playing a more aggressive brand, that helps get the most out of you at that end?
For sure. Like I said before, it's like a standard, that you want to obtain, joining the team. And so, knowing that each and everybody else on the team is going to bring it on that end, it kind of forces you in that position to, put your best foot forward and, fit into that.
Anfernee, you had a few head coaches in Portland. What's the process of getting to know a new head coach, and what's the process of getting to know Joe?
Just building a relationship off the court. I think that started, as soon as I, found out I got traded. Trying to be in constant communication and trying to get to know each other. And I think we've been building a great relationship. I know a lot about his family life. He knows a lot about mine. And, it's been good. I think each and every day we're continuing to build that relationship. And it's been good for me because it helps on the court when he's trying to hold me accountable and, push me to be the best version of myself.
You went to a Celtic playoff game. I think you went to Game 3 against Orlando. Like, did you have any idea?
No.
Like, what was that? What was that night like? Kind of watching that game with some of your teammates and just checking that out?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I thought about, like, when you become a player, you never really get to see the game as a spectator. And obviously, I'm from Orlando, and so, I just wanted to go and see a game, not knowing that I was going to be being traded to Boston, which is crazy and coincidental.
Anfernee, getting, to learn how to play with Peyton Pritchard. I know you played the other night, but even in that Toronto game when you guys started together, what's the process of playing off each other's spacing? I know you played with Dave and CJ, but like when you have two guards that both like to shoot from deep, that both have similar shot profiles, like what's the process of playing off each other's spacing?
Yeah, just filling it out in the game, and then like obviously just having constant communication with them. And obviously, like I said, I played with Dame and CJ, and so I was able to learn how to be able to space pretty well and give those guys some room to work. And so it's just the same thing with Peyton. Peyton can get downhill, create his own shot, and so you got to give him the space that he needs. And also it helps put the defense in a bind. He's going one-on-one at the top of the key or on the wing, and I'm on the other wing, and it forces the help defender to make a choice and choose.
And then defensively, it seems like you guys are sending a lot of help, like pressuring the ball, off the ball, and stuff like that. Like, what's the thought process behind going for a certain risk, not going for a certain risk? Like, how do you read the floor and determine when and where you go for those?
Right. It's not going to be perfect. We're going to take some risk, and it might not work out, but we have to protect each other, once those mistakes happen. And so that's been the constant, talk about this whole training camp is just, you mess up, you cover for your teammate, cover for your brother, and then, we figure it out, as the possession goes along.
I mean, Joe sounded a little frustrated with the rebounding after the game. What has he voiced to you guys about your work on the defensive glass in particular?
Just box out, outwood the other player trying to get the offensive rebound. I think it's really that simple. And obviously he's been pretty adamant about that. So he's just trying to set the tone of how we need to bring it each and every night from the beginning on that side.
And what is the key for that for you guys? Is it an effort thing? Is it
just understanding angles of which the shot is coming off of, and it's all about basically really toughness and just boxing out your man, making sure at least your man doesn't get it if you don't get it. So it's really that simple like that.
John.
Anfernee, going back to the coming off the bench thing, can you just explain the difference in the preparation and the that 4 or 5 minutes of sitting and watching what are you watching, and how do you get into the flow right away versus feeling out a game at the beginning?
Right. Obviously, it's a different team. But early in my career, when I came off the bench, I just tried to understand the flow of the game, what we feel like I needed, or we needed to, when I came into the game. And so it's always, at first it was difficult, obviously coming in trying to find a rhythm offensively, and you know what I mean. I haven't been playing this whole time, so just filling out how the game is being played. You get to get a snapshot before you go in of how the defense is playing certain players, and you might get the same coverage. So you kind of get a good idea of how the team's going to play. And then I think for like early in my career, me and my trainer used to do drills where we would come in late at night and I'll sit down and for a second, and he'd tell me to get up, come in and shoot a three, and I got to make it. Certain drills like that help me to be able to come in and be, pretty productive pretty early in the game.
Final question, Justin.
What were your first impressions of playing at TD Garden as a Boston Celtic?
No, it's every time I came to play here, I enjoyed the environment, and obviously the fans are, top level fans, and so it's always been a arena that I've looked forward to playing in, and I always thought it was a good shooting gym for me. So, I feel like it's the same thing. Great shooting gym, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.